I'd been hearing a lot about Bun and how great it was, so I decided that I would make a little video on node.js, Deno, also pronounced deno, but it is supposed to be Deno, and Bun. What makes them different, why you would use one over the other, and what makes Bun so much faster. So originally this was going to be called I Don't Care About Bun or Deno. That wasn't until I started reading about them. I had only ever used Node, and from all the stuff that I saw, it seemed like when somebody recommends like, oh, stop using VS Code, you should go use this thing, even though it does the same job and you just have to learn a new tool. To me, that wasn't really an interesting proposition to spend my time doing, but after doing more reading about both projects, I actually started to care quite a lot about them. So these tools come in two parts. They have a JavaScript runtime environment and a JavaScript engine. So Node and Deno both use V8 as the engine. The runtime is what makes it itself. The difference between Deno and Node is the runtime, not the engine. Even though from performance numbers it looks like there might be some slight modifications in performance between the two of them, they should basically be identical though. Some stuff from the runtime does have to interact with the engine. That's what makes JavaScript on the server more interesting, like access to the file system, spawn subprocesses. Things like that aren't specifically made for the browser, so they need to be implemented for the runtime. One of the main reasons why I was very skeptical about the Bun project was Google's been working on V8. Everybody else is using V8. JavaScript core is the engine that is used by Bun, which is part of WebKit, and I think the only browser using that right now is Safari and iPhone browsers. You can't implement your own complete browser on iOS unless that's changed recently. Everything is just a reskin Safari. Essentially, you're not allowed to implement. This is just terms of service. There's nothing preventing the iPhone from running the code. Just terms of service for the App Store. You are not allowed to re-implement the web view. So in my opinion, I was like, think of all the money and engineering time that went into those projects, especially Node and V8 on the back end. If everybody's using V8 at Microsoft and Google, they've got some pretty smart, highly paid engineers. Then you have another guy coming in and saying, I'm gonna outperform them, especially with the runtime as well, like considering how much money and backing has gone into the Node.js project from the beginning. But as we'll see, perhaps a full rewrite was in order. So Deno, the runaway founder, this is just a tangent, but remember when one of the co-founders of Vine, after the non-compete was over, he just basically remade Vine and called it Byte. Anyway, just thought when I hear that one of the founders of Node, or perhaps the original founder, I'm not exactly sure what his position was, but when I hear that the founder left and then remade the same thing, like this has happened many times. That was my first initial impression of the Deno project. Wants to remake the same thing again using better technology, which it essentially is, but there's some philosophy changes here too. Things that I specifically like are being on par with browser. So there are some features that Node doesn't implement. If you've ever worked with Node, you might have tried to use things like fetch. Fetch is the thing that really comes to mind because that's the one that I've run into the most. You can't use fetch in the JavaScript that you're running on Node without importing node fetch or another package that implements the fetch functionality from the browser, which is really strange because the whole point of Node, in my opinion, is you already know how to write JavaScript. Come write JavaScript that runs on server. And removing built-ins like this, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So Deno fixes that by actually implementing all of the browser features. It also offers TypeScript support. Both Bun and Deno support TypeScript. There's nothing preventing Node from implementing a transpiler for TypeScript as well. It probably will come in the future, in my opinion, but we'll get more into that. Deno is not a drop-in replacement for Node. You'd need to do some retooling. You can't just install Deno and then replace the word node in all of your scripts with Deno and have it work properly. There's also some security changes in Deno that are somewhat interesting. You can restrict the runtime from accessing the disk. You can restrict it to certain domains. Basically, you just have the sandbox allow or disallow permissions. And when you're running code off the internet, yeah, that might be something that you care about, but when it comes to sandboxing, from following like the iPhone jailbreaking scene, it's kind of funny to think that the sandboxing technology that he's implementing here would be actually secure. Like, obviously it would add an extra hurdle compared to just being allowed to run, having those restrictions in the sandbox. If the Apple and Google sandboxes are not secure and constantly have holes poked in them, then a sufficiently bad actor is going to be able to deal with this, so it's not really that interesting to me. Module dependencies in code, so he has a screenshot here where instead of doing a npm install and then importing the package, you can do it inline. This looks nice, but to me this is like a management thing that might make some problems for you. Like, I don't think that you'd want to do it like this, but even allowing it to happen would cause more people to do it incorrectly. And he has explicit extensions as well. This was a great idea, just forcing a file extension, which he says was one of those cute things that he thought would be cool. He had a good programming philosophy tip to not include things that you think are cute in projects like this, because eventually they'll make you look back at it and say, that was a stupid decision, why did I do that? So things like not including file extensions and forcing index.js, he thinks that both of those are bad decisions. Most npm packages do work out of the box. Here's his. While Deno is pretty powerful itself, there is a large ecosystem of code in the npm registry, and many people will want to re-leverage tools, code, and libraries that are built for node.js. In this chapter, we'll explore how to use it. The good news is that in many cases, it just works, but also in many cases, it doesn't just work. In terms of the features of Deno, just to wrap it up, first-class TypeScript support, better security and sandboxing for your code, inline imports like this, and better compatibility with browser built-ins like window.fetch. Deno in production at Slack, Netlify, GitHub, and Supabase, probably many other places where it's being used. If you do care about that additional security, why not use it if you can? And if you're starting a TypeScript project from the get-go, I could definitely see when this came out that TypeScript people said, that's perfect, I love TypeScript, let's just use Deno instead. So I can understand why it's being used, but for your average developer, this doesn't really make a lot of sense when you're going to find a lot less support for problems that you're having in Deno than you are going to find Google searching and Stack Overflow for Node. Bun was the one that people are actually really interested in, so of course I saved it for last. When I first heard about Bun, I was thinking, how on earth is it so much faster? And people had runtime stuff where, oh my god, it's outperforming Rust. Like, okay, it can outperform Rust when it's just doing a syscall. Like, your JavaScript code is just being run, and then that is being directly run into a compiled Zig function. Like, okay, yeah, that might be faster, but then you could rewrite the Rust and it'd be just as fast. Like, the performance stuff is very much a silly thing to look at in compared to compiled languages, but comparing it to other JavaScript runtimes, I think, is a very reasonable thing to look at. So Bun uses JavaScript Core, which is WebKit, and the creator states that it's a little bit faster, and there are some benchmarks that say that it's a little faster. A lot of the performance gains actually come from rewriting a bunch of the functions, and the code base is like a whole bunch of C++, because that's what WebKit is, and then a whole bunch of Zig, which is another programming language, similar to C++ or Rust, a low-level compiled language. And I think that was one of the main reasons why the guy made this. So the GitHub file structures and stuff, though, there's just Zig hanging out beside C++ files. It's all a pretty big mess right now from what I've been looking at, but there's a lot of rewritten functions and bindings and stuff where instead of the original code paths being followed, it's following some re-implementation in Zig for better performance, which I definitely respect, and a colossal amount of work has gone into this project. Like, when I originally saw it, I thought somebody just remade Node with a different JavaScript runtime. Like, I don't really care, or JavaScript engine, I don't really care. So the speed-ups are very interesting, but you didn't need to throw out everything to have done this. Like, Bun is a complete re-implementation, right? Like, there's no Node.js code inside of bun. It re-implements a bunch of the node functions to give it, apparently it's at like 90% compatibility with node built-ins, but you didn't have to throw out everything. If they actually wanted to just speed up Node, they could have sped up Node. Like, this guy's clearly a skilled C++ developer, and a bunch of the work that they did was just speeding up the C++ essentially, but I think that they just really like Zig and wanted to re-implement the project. But if they really wanted to, it's a different goal to want to actually speed up Node.js, it definitely would have helped more people, but he also wouldn't have gotten $7 million in funding. I guarantee you that the Node codebase would not have accepted changes including Zig, which is what he wanted to program in, and it's a cool project. So these are two separate goals. The goal of speeding up Node, which can be done in the future. Parity with both of these can be achieved. Somebody just has to go and speed up the C++ in Node's backend, much like we've seen with the Python 3.11 release. Just put development time towards making everything a bit faster. And with Python, at least, we've seen about a 50% increase in performance when compared to previous versions, and they're going to get even faster. But V8 already uses a bunch of just-in-time compiled things, so I think that we could get a lot faster performance if somebody just spent the time to re-implement things in a more performant way. So I was going to do a comparison of like how the code in bun directly translates to the code in node.js or the code in Deno, but it doesn't really matter. Just know that the performance increases in bun are not impossible to attain with regular Node if somebody just went and optimized the code. You gotta be a pretty smart cookie to do that, and I do not disrespect the guy that made bun at all for not wanting to do that and instead picking up his own project, but we can see Node.js implementations of things could be up to like 3 times as fast or faster. So that's my little ramble on JavaScript runtimes. I'm going to stick to using Node. I don't really care about a 500 millisecond increase in startup time or security or sandboxing. I don't use TypeScript, and if I did, then I just install some transpiler library into npm, and it would, take an extra 300 milliseconds in the build step. But hopefully the Bun project at least lights a fire under the Node developers to put a bit more time into making the underlying systems a little bit faster to keep up with this, because clearly there's a demand for it, and I wish the Bun developers the best of luck. Bun is also implementing first-class TypeScript support and additional features. I'd be surprised if the Deno project continues to be very popular at all after more people switch over to Bun, because if you're using TypeScript, you probably want to use Bun. If you want faster performance, you probably want to use Bun. If you want to be on the hot new technology, you probably want to use Bun. So this Deno, unfortunately, has been outclassed by the new kid on the block already, it seems, and hopefully Node will improve with a bit of competition. So thanks for watching. Peace out.